well.
Why don't we do the 7th, that way, the 9th, then it's only a week to the next meeting this way, it's a week and
good.
2 days.
Usually any meetings here on Tuesday?
Hmm?
Are there usually meetings on Tuesdays in here?
We'll have to find the location.
We can have it another
Is the 20th
location.
the vacation?
We'll find a location. Matter of fact, when you move on to your meeting, I'll check the appointment book.
It's Tuesday.
Good idea, it'd be nice to
And
nail
we're gonna
down
meet at 6 on both those days.
We should probably just put it in there for now. If we don't have a reason to meet,
I'll
we
change
can
it.
change it.
Depending upon where I am, 6 might be let's see, what do we work? That's 2 weeks
We're
out?
gonna be,
You can
The other
try
end
a
of the
6, but I'll let
state.
you know. If,
Let me know.
You know,
Okay.
I'll know whether I'm gonna meet, so.
The 7th we're talking about.
7th.
Yeah.
Not the 6th.
No, the 7th, I mean the 7th. It's
Okay.
just,
Yeah.
I'm working an hour and a half, 2 hours away. So 6 o'clock might be tight for me.
Right, then we maybe just not do it at 6 o'clock that day, maybe just do it after the meeting.
Okay, it's past the hour of 8. I'll open the public hearing to discuss town meeting dates,
Read the notice?
2012.
Read the notice, or is there a notice?
Yeah, I think there is. I believe there is.
There is.
I don't see it.
I don't have
It was
one.
in the paper.
It's in the paper, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I got it.
I knew it was in the paper.
Is that the new one?
No,
Oh, no,
this
it's
is
in
the
the packet.
motion.
It's in the
It's
supplement.
in the bag.
It is in the supplement.
It's in the
It
supplement.
just came today.
Thank you, Mike.
Yep, it's there.
It's in supplements.
Excuse me, board members, one second, we'll meet here on the 7th.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. No, I think it's in the original. I believe it was in the original packet, the public hearing.
The hearing notice?
Yeah.
It is?
I have a copy of it. Bear with me for a second.
Skipped over.
Must be in the original. Michael gave us bad information.
I have it.
I did. I'm bad. Sorry.
Oops.
Can't find it.
I have it.
I know.
Just gotta put my hand on it.
Maybe it didn't get scanned.
No, we have it.
No, I know, I read it. I thought I read it in the supplement.
Supplement. Look
Yeah.
in the supplement.
Right here.
I didn't get that information.
No,
I'm
public
sorry.
hearing, no, it's in the,
Here we go. We're set. We got the
Okay, I'll
paper
read
copy.
it.
That
Right
seems to
after-
work
right
better.
after
I
Mrs.
have a
Romeo.
paper copy.
Got it right here.
All right.
It's in
right
the
after Mrs.
supplements on the
Romeo in
regular.
our
Okay.
packet,
It's in the regular.
town meeting dates.
Yeah, it's in here.
All right.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yep, that's the article. This is the public hearing notice.
Okay, here we go. The town of, the North Reading Board of Selectmen will hold a public hearing on January 23rd, 2012 at 8 p.m. in room 14, North Reading Town Hall, 235 North Street, to receive public input on selecting dates for the annual and October 2012 town meetings in accordance with the North Reading Home Rule Charter 241. So, this came about several years ago when we found out that we're scheduling town meetings on religious holidays, and change was made to permit the board to require the board to review these dates in January and set the dates for the now June and October town meetings, our annual and town meetings. So I don't believe that we have any conflicts this year, Craig. Have you got any?
We do not. As a matter of fact, we asked the town clerk to go and look and see whether she could find out whether there were any conflicts, and she reports back that there are none.
Yeah, we received an email from her. Right?
Right.
Yes, and she's also given us a memo in writing.
Is there anyone in the audience that has any comments regarding that?
This is just for the town meetings.
These are for the town meetings.
Correct. Town clerk reports that she's reviewed the dates. She does not foresee any conflict with either legal or religious holidays that would prevent adhering to Section 2-4-1 of the town charter, scheduling the first Monday of June, June 4th, 2012, and the first Monday in October, October 1st of 2012 for the beginning of each of these meetings. That's her recommendation.
No conflict with the schools, she
Any
said, right?
further board comment?
No conflict with anyone.
If hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Sorry.
I have a question then.
Diana, why don't you move up to the mic and
Just say who you are for the folks at home.
Deanna Kester, 9 Bradaway.
Thank you.
I just don't know when to ask a question and to offer a request. And it is related to the dates, but I don't know if it's not to impact the dates.
These are
Just town
not the
meeting.
dates of the special town meeting
Right.
or the election. This
Understand.
is our regular town meeting dates that we have to set each year.
Okay.
So ask your question.
My question is related to, once you've determined the June and the October town meeting, if you will entertain a communication again that we've requested in the past regarding, maybe it's an agenda item at the next finance planning team meeting, entertaining a moratorium of civic, government, school, and extracurricular activities so that we can maximize, participation and our community's efforts to do the right thing for the community and government. So we've had this communication before. I met with the school committee at 7 o'clock tonight to request the same type of thing so that we can avoid some of the conflicts and barriers that parents and community members have on a regular basis when it comes to the June, October, and any actual special town meeting. The example that I gave to the school committee tonight was last June at town meeting. There was a senior prom, and there is again this year, unfortunately. We hope to erase that barrier in the future. But in addition, there was also, for Little League playoffs, softball, youth sports playoffs, tryouts for soccer, and grade level parent meetings for religious education. That's just things that impacted my children's life and my life. I don't know about the numerous other conflicts that were created on that evening. So if we want to maximize the number of people that are participating in government, other communities have begun increasingly creating a moratorium so that we all work together as a community and as leaders and as citizens to remove the barriers and the conflicts so that we can be in the seat at 7 p.m. on these important dates to make important decisions for our community. So I'd ask if you could reconsider at another meeting to work with the superintendent, the town administrator, Parks and Recreation, and the youth sports programs, and see if we can't find a better way to prioritize and to communicate about these important dates.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Yule.
Yes. Way before I was a selectman and I started to become involved in the community, and I can remember being out in the soccer field and coaching and knowing there was a meeting that night, but forgetting there was a meeting that night with all the hustle and bustle. And when it dawned on me there was a meeting that night, town meeting that is, I would find out and get a hold of the parents and end the practice earlier so that the parents of the children that I coached could go to the meeting. Now, whether they did or they didn't, that's something I could not control. I think that we would be sending a fantastic message to the community of cooperation, of all of the, and I know it's a big undertaking, but it's a simple thing. It's a request that we all begin to work together and take into consideration that one of the two most important dates in this town are the June meetings, town meetings, and the October meetings, because it affects everybody within the community. So if we can, as a board, reach out in any which way that we can and ask these, our schools, the private sports programs and so on on those days, to please don't schedule anything, if it's possible. I think that we'd be sending a great message out to the community.
Mr. Delaney.
I'll just keep my comments simple. It's an idea that I supported a year ago. I continue to support. I think we, as the Board of Selectmen, should actually go out and inform everyone that there is a moratorium, or suggest that there should be a moratorium on activities outside of town meeting on those two particular evenings and any other special town meeting, a special election we have. Jeff, I think you left out another important date. It is election date every year. I think it's important to this community too. So, and I've been an advocate of elections on Saturdays and special town meetings on Saturdays, and because I think it will get greater participation. So I think a suggestion by Mrs. Castro, she sits over there, I can't see her with the podium, but I think it's a valid,
She's hiding.
it continues to be a valid idea that she puts forward, and I wholeheartedly support, and I think this board should do whatever it can to request that there is a moratorium on outside activities on at least those two particular evenings of town meeting.
Well, the thought that occurs to me is, I mean, I'm not, certainly in support of encouraging our citizens to attend town meeting and go to the polls when they're scheduled, but I don't think we have the authority to tell anybody that they can't have practice. I mean, we may have a little bit of influence over
Yeah,
the
we do.
recreation department, but beyond that,
Or we just don't give them permits that day. What we should do is we just tell Parks and Recreation, they don't hand out any permits for the parks on those 2 days. So they can't be used. Their parks are closed. We can close those parks. They work for Greg, and he can certainly do that.
Oh. It's a little antagonistic in approach. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but.
It's all
a
about,
co-op-
people
it's a
don't use the
cooperation.
parks, but people don't use the parks on their own. They go into Park and Recreation, they get a permit. And when they release their permit, if they're gonna do the Little League field, they give them a permit for the whole season. But they can put this date during your season, it's closed.
Yeah,
And they let them know in advance, and they do their schedule, and that includes practice and everything else. We can do this.
Obviously, yes. I mean, you can do that. I think the positive approach is the better approach of valor here. If we start trying to limit people and what they do, it's not the positive message. I mean, we want to make an impact. I think we want to make a positive impact. I don't think.
So what do you
we wanna-
suggest? Because I'm confused.
It's a request.
it's not-
It's
it's
a
not being
request. That's a
negative.
suggestion. It's a request. We you know, I don't know if it's appropriate to tell people what you can and what you can't do. All right.
Oh, we can't tell them what they can and cannot do,
well-
but we can close down our parks.
Well, you
that
have then
that
now you have a
ability.
law enforcement issue, and then people are going to go out there and do it anyway because it's only one day. They're going to overlook it, and then what? They're having practice on that day. You can't have practice today because we have a town meeting. It creates an adverse environment. I think we want to do a positive impact. I don't think
And
we
what
want
do you,
negative.
what do you suggest?
I suggest
Give an example different from
Deanna
mine.
made the suggestion that we make a request as a board to the community and to the associations that has activities on those nights.
Yeah, I think we're all
That's
saying
what
the
you
same
do.
thing.
No, what you're saying is you're forcing them not to go.
No.
To go. And
You're not
all you're
gonna
going to do
provide
is
them
stop them.
access.
All you're going to do is stop them from using the field.
Right, well, you just don't give them a permit for the fields on those 2 days. I don't see why that's a big problem. You're shaking your head.
Yeah, no, I do. I do see it as a big problem. First of all, while attending town meeting may be one of my priorities, one of the things that I deem to be important, it may not be as important to anybody else or to someone else. Those fields are paid for and supported by those user fees, by the general public, by the taxpayers, through their dollars, and for us to shut it down, to impose your will, on them, and deny them access to those public lands because we think it's important for them to come to town meeting. And if they don't come to town meeting, they can stay home and do what they want, but they can't go and, recreate in whatever fashion they do, I think is wrong. I'm not into bullying the public.
Okay,
Into bullying the public.
that's not
You know,
what I'm saying, and that's not what I'm trying to do.
That's how I'm taking it.
Okay,
And
well,
you're
of
saying,
course.
let's shut it down.
Of course you are.
Monday, what do you mean? No, that's what you're saying. Monday, June 4th, Little League field's not available. Ipswich River Park's not available. Hood School Field's not available. Tennis courts are not open.
Yeah, for organized sports, right.
No, I think that's wrong. I think the imposition of that is wrong, sends the wrong message and the wrong approach. If we want to, again, suggest to these organizations, as Mr. Buell pointed out, that it's very important from a community standpoint to address the needs, set the budget, set the tone. We would ask you, not to schedule, primary events,
Okay.
on these things, and allow parents the easier choice to participate in their government if they so choose to, and ask for their, agreement on that. That would be good. But to shut it down, I think that's a big mistake. I think it's wrong. I think imposing that type of restriction on the general populace is a big mistake.